All right, so we're doing some insulating. We've got our big rolls here. I'm rolling them out to 12.5 feet, cutting them, and then I'm cutting them in the center because these are 4 feet and we need 24 inches. So that's what we got going. We've got our plastic here, and I'm kind of in the process so I can show you this. So from underneath, we're putting this plastic up and stapling it to the bottom of the ceiling studs. And it's thick. I think it's 6 mil. So it's acting as a vapor barrier, but it's also allowing me to get up here in the attic and set my insulation on top of it, keep it from falling through, so that way I can insulate this before drywall, which is kind of a key part of this for us, just because of how small this attic space is. It's my only option besides blow-in, and I didn't want to go that route. So you can kind of see some of our HVAC work going on. I've still got to connect this joint here, but this is giving us a total R value of 33 in the attic. So I'm just doing one section at a time, putting the plastic up and then stacking 3 layers, and then moving on to the next and just doing it one at a time, working my way through the house. And here is what it looks like from the underside. Don't worry about the gap there, it doesn't follow through all the way up. There's just some wires right there. The next layer covers that. There's 3 layers. And any seams are offset, and we make sure to get the second and third layer over top of the stud so that there's not so much thermal bridging. And then you can see the junction box that these lights come with. It's kind of hard to see, but it's that black cube up there. You've seen it in previous videos, but that's where it's still at. And then we just poke a hole through the plastic, and down comes the wire for the light, and this will pop up into our drywall. It won't be right there, of course, it'll be over here more. So, yep, chugging right along. All right, now I've switched over to working on HVAC. So this one goes to the bedroom, and then we've got our T-joint here. It's just kind of being loosely suspended, but it'll be held up by the insulation beneath it. I might add a bracket, but for right now it's just sitting here. We've got this short piece that's gonna go to the blower fan, and then it hits this T to the left, to the right, and this one goes to the bathroom. And right here is gonna be the blower fan. It's gonna come to here, and there'll be an inlet right here. It's gonna, have a louvered opening. So this will be pulling air in through here to the T, where it's gonna equally blow both directions. And that's our circulation system. So warm air in the winter, cold air in the summer. All right, so we got our shower fan installed. It's a ventilation fan light combo. So I'm just gonna, the way this connects here, let's see. It's just got little plugs, and they plug in there, one for the light, one for the fan. And you come around up here, and there's a little junction box. There's a cover here, and this is where you do your connections. So just for testing purposes, I'm just gonna grab me an extension cord and plug it in here, and you can check it all out. Well, it works, and there's no rattles. That's the main reason I wanted to do it. I mean, a lot of times, cheap apartments and stuff, you hear these things rattle around. That's because they didn't do a good enough job securing it to the studs. So I made sure to use all the mounting holes and tabs and everything, and I don't hear no vibrations, and it's quiet, and it ain't going nowhere. So, job done. So I'm realizing, while editing, looking back, a lot of the footage that I've recorded for this video has some terrible background noise. Sounds like an airplane taking off. And I'll show you what it is. It's the inverter. It's quite noisy, and so that led me to decide to kind of talk about that with y'all and walk away from it so it ain't so loud. But that closet back there is going to be insulated. I haven't decided if it's just going to have the standard, what we're putting in the exterior and interior walls. I don't know if that's going to be enough because it's quite noisy. It's got cooling fans that automatically kick on at varying speeds to keep it cool within its right ranges, and that'll happen throughout the day, whether it's bringing in a lot of DC electricity from the solar panels or whether you're pulling a lot of AC electricity out to your load. Those fans come on and they can get pretty noisy. So I don't know if this insulation is going to be enough. I'm going to have to kind of test. I've got some laying here. I might just fill all the cavities and see if it seems to deaden it out. If not, I've kind of been thinking about going for those foam acoustic panels that studios and musicians use and lining the inside of the closet with something like that. Maybe a combination of both, because I want to be able to sit in my living room, sip my coffee in the morning, and just kind of open a window and hear the birds chirp and have, you know, I don't want to hear this airplane fan. It's very loud when it's going. I don't want to hear that all the time. It's like white noise. So, sorry that y'all are hearing it in the background of a lot of these videos, but that's what it is. That's in the background, and right now, it's just, it's open, so, yeah. We got another wall up. This is a bathroom wall, the one between the bathroom and the kitchen. So, got that done, and now we need to do the last interior wall, and then I'll be done framing. It's going to go right here, and that's going to be the doorway into the bathroom. Let me flip this around and show you some other things. So, in this wall, we've got our Kohler amplifier mounted, and this just fits between the studs, and I've still got some finishing up here, but there's a cover panel that'll go over top and cover this up. But you've got your power supply, your communication cable, and then your transistor wires. So they're basically speaker wire, positive, negative for each one, and I'm going to organize them out. But they go down here to the bathtub, and you can see they're routed, and they go to these, essentially speakers, or they call them transistors, and it causes vibrations through the bathtub, but it's still audible. You can hear the music. And then they have above waterline and below waterline, and then you've got this screen here. I'll cut to an earlier clip where I was testing it. So yeah, I've got some wiring to do, and this is a drop-in tub, so there's going to be a facade wall here. It doesn't actually bear any weight. Per the manufacturer, the lip should not have any weight on it. So even when you build this wall, they don't even want it to make contact. They want 2 millimeters in between. So the tub itself supports itself with there's some rubber feet on the bottom. So when we permanently install it, there'll be construction adhesive between those rubber feet and the subfloor. This facade wall is just to cover all this up. But when I build that, I'm going to design a small hatch here. It might even be triangular. I'm not sure yet, but it's going to kind of hide. I don't want it to be super obvious, but there's going to be a little hatch here so that if I ever need to, I can get behind here and open it and do any kind of maintenance or electrics. You know, worst case scenario. So there'll be a hatch there, and then I haven't decided if I'm going to put a hatch here on this wall. They don't say that you need to in the book for this tub. They say you need to for the other stuff, but this one just goes in the wall and you forget about it. I don't really like that idea. I don't want to have to cut drywall if like a wire shorts out or something. So I might put some kind of a cabinet panel here. I ain't too sure yet. And the screen, it gets mounted to the wall. It's got a back plate. It's waterproof, so that'll go like back there in the wall somewhere. So got a lot of work to do still with this. Is up. Had to be a little bit different here. There wasn't enough room for 3 2x4s, so my Jack and King are, you know, spaced, and then I took my header all the way over, so it's a little different. But obviously this is not a load bearing wall, and everything is still very structural. My cripples are even, they just don't look like it because of that. But there's the door frame. We wanted it as close to that wall as we could get it. And that's where it fell. That's where we're happy with it. And here we have some pictures. My uncle, last minute, decided to fly in for the day. So we had one day to get some work done. And we had a good time doing it. So here's me and Ryan. And yeah, we got the entire bedroom drywalled, ceiling and walls. Very excited. And there I am cleaning it up so we can move back in because we're living in it right now.